Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Fragrance Banter podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm Steve.
And we're just friends going on a fragrance journey, smelling some fragrances across the globe and talking a little shit.
Man, it's a great way to start a podcast. I wouldn't say it's a dagger in the heart. It's like a little spoon in there. It's just a little dig in the ribs at the start of every podcast.
Butter knife in the heart, maybe.
We'll get there. I think there'll be a celebration when you introduce me as best friends.
That's true.
Anyway, how the devil are you? It's been a while. We've sent the odd message, but we've not spoken as much this week. You've been busy.
Oh, man.
You've been a busy little boy. So,
yeah.
How the hell are you?
This past week kicked my fucking ass, dude. It has been the worst. I don't know if you guys are, out there and you're going through divorces, but the emotional aspect of the start of it, you think is the bad part until you start bringing lawyers into the mix. And then you start actually looking at how your life will legally change. And then it's just a whole new kind of brutality.
So what you're saying, for your sort of stress and mental health, you don't recommend divorce? Is that it's not good for health, mental health, and sort of stress and anxiety and logistics and administration and finances?
I'm trying to look at it like when you go to the gym, it's your body under stress.
Yes.
But then once you recover, your body's better for it. And so that is it.
You're getting the DOMS. Yeah, it's you're straining the muscles, you're tearing the muscle fibers so they can build stronger afterwards once they've recovered. That's it. That's what you're going through the stress and the tear, and then you're going to come back strong. Yeah,
exactly.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
I like that.
So this specific muscle, they've been tearing out my testicles, and and hopefully we come back stronger and more prepared.
Are they not on the mantelpiece of your wife? She owns those.
Not yet, but it is in the agreement that she received those.
It's on the mantelpiece is your testicles next to the shirt off your back. Is that what you're saying?
That's it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's coming too. So what about you? How was your week?
Yeah, good. I don't think I've got too much to report, really. Just been quite busy at work. I'm counting down the days till I go away on a summer holiday, which is what this episode's about. So I'm going to be talking about the fragrances I've picked to take away with me on my summer holiday.
That's true.
That is what we're talking about today. I've got 7 fragrances.
Ooh, 7.
Yeah, 7. So I am going to be taking little sort of travel sprays. Some of them I've got smaller little travel sprays anyway, but the bigger bottles, I'm just going to decant some into little travels. This is my thinking. I mean, what would your approach be to a summer holiday? I guess it's fucking hot every day for you, but if you were going away, you're going to be by the pool, by the beach or whatever. So my theory is, this is what I've let you know, I've got stuff for the day which are just full on freshies, which I'm not that bothered about the performance, because obviously you spray it on and then you're just going to be jumping in the pool and washing it off anyway, so it doesn't really fucking matter. And then I've got a few that are more evening kind of fresh, sort of a bit cleaner, fresher, better performance, but just smelling a bit more sexy in the evening when we go out for a meal and stuff in the evening. Is there anything I'm missing there? Would you do anything differently?
No, you're good. I mean, first of all, I just want to, for the American listeners, he's talking about a vacation.
Yeah, here we go. Yes, yes. A vacation. Yeah, we call it, I think, we call it a holiday, but you call it like any time of year, any celebration, don't you? Like Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving, they're all holidays, aren't they, to you? Yeah, so so we would call it a summer holiday. But yeah, we do use vacation. That makes sense to us, but we don't really typically use it. It's not too frequently used. So yeah,
gotcha.
Good shouts.
I feel like your theory behind it, though, is good. Something lighter that you're just you want to make sure you're smelling good to and from, but as far as it goes, whatever happens, once you spray it on, you're not as worried about when you go out at night, though. You want to be sexy.
Exactly that. I want it to last a bit longer because I'm not going to be jumping in a pool. I want it to smell good when we're going for dinner. So it's a fact. I've obviously got a couple of kids, so we're not going out to the early hours, going to nightclubs or anything. So typically in the evenings, we dress up and we make an effort and we go out for a nice meal, and then there's normally entertainment because we'll probably stay on the resort. So there's some evening entertainment, singers, whatever, a bit of entertainment for the kids, and then when it gets late enough and the kids get tired, we go back to the hotel, and then they go for a sleep, and we maybe the wife and I, we've got a separate room. It's kind of like a family suite sort of thing. So
cool. Okay.
So we can get some drinks. But this holiday is I'm a little bit excited because we've actually got a rooftop terrace type thing with a jacuzzi on. You call it a jacuzzi, don't you? There's nothing
or like a hot tub.
Hot tub, yeah. We call it hot tub as well. So what we can actually do is get the kids in bed, and then we can, the wife and I can maybe get some cocktails or whatever and have a little dip in the hot tub in their little jacuzzi.
Whoa.
So, and then maybe, I might get lucky if I'm smelling good. Who knows? So
yeah. Okay. I'm dying to see what you pick to see if you do end up getting lucky. Because I was going to ask 7 fragrances. I'm like, damn, how long are you guys going for?
Well, I must admit that I didn't pick 7 specifically. I didn't think, so we're going for 7 nights, I think. But I didn't think 7 nights, 7 fragrances or 7. I didn't really think of that. I literally just thought these are my sort of favorite freshy fragrances, but this also includes, like I say, very just citrus light, don't really care about them so much, and then a couple that I really like that I'll want to smell really good in the evening. So I mean, shall we start? Because otherwise it might be a long episode, mightn't it?
Yeah.
So I tell you what, I'm not going to do it in any particular order. I'm just going to be grabbing them as I see them. But there are, unintentionally, there's quite a few clones in here. I don't know why. It wasn't intentional. And there's quite a few newer pickups as well. So I've got a couple that I took on holiday last year because there's some scent memories as well. So I quite like that. So I'm going to take them again so I can associate those with holidays, which is quite nice. So I've got some nice memories. But I've got a few newer pickups that I want to take and try on holiday as well. So the first one is a clone of Louis Vuitton's Afternoon Swim. And it's Alexandra Fragrances version called Afternoon Splash.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is nice. I like this. It's a solid version. It's got a really nice opening. It's got that, most people have probably smelled Afternoon Swim, but it's got a lovely orangey mandarin kind of opening. But what's nice with this version, I mentioned it in a video I did this week on my YouTube channel, that it smells quite natural, not too synthetic. So it's not too sort of like, sometimes it can smell a bit, well, with any citrusy fragrance it can smell a bit like toilet cleaner or something like that, or a little bit synthetic, where the orange mandarin sort of accord in this opening smells really nice and natural. I really like it. And this is, again, it's got really nice dry down as well, and performance is okay. It's not brilliant. It's going to last like 4 hours at a push, but again, the moment I jump in a pool, this is going to be gone, to be honest. But yeah, smells really nice, so I just thought chuck that on.
And fitting for your trip.
Exactly.
Afternoon Splash.
Have you smelled Afternoon Swim? I assume you have.
I have. Actually, I was going to say, kind of hearkening back to a previous episode with old Penis.
Yes.
I went into the Louis Vuitton store. I was in the big city for a job, and I went in and smelled, what was it? Summer Vibes?
Pacific Chill. And
I'm going to say I like the clone, the French Avenue clone, over the original.
Really? Interesting.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Interesting. Yeah, we didn't do a call. We did say we'd come back and report what we thought to that. We obviously used to call it a one night stand, but I don't know if might need to think of a new name for it. But yeah, we didn't sort of call back to that one. So perhaps this is not a bad time to do it. So obviously we loved a bit of Penis in the opening. So the start of the Penis was nice. Yeah. And then as you got to the base of the Penis, it wasn't... It wasn't so, I think.
Enjoyable.
I really like the opening. I think because we smelt it again after we finished recording, didn't we? We sprayed it again. And we both agreed that the opening was... There was something about the opening. It was quite a lot more memorable than the dry down, for example. It was quite like that minty mojito. It was quite fresh, had something about it. Quite interesting, but that minty mojito vibe faded quite quickly, and it just got to quite a generic, bit slightly woody, sort of maybe a bit creamy kind of citrus that was okay, was pleasant, but fairly forgettable.
Yeah, well, the dry down on the actual Louis V fragrance to me smelled kind of cheaper than that, which shocked me. Yeah, because I went straight into the store. And I did smell Symphony as well. We'll talk about that on another episode. So I have things to tell you off air, Steve. So spraying that on, because I put it on skin and I was like, I'll walk around with it. I went to dinner and like pretty quickly as it dried down, I was like, oh, this just smells like, I don't know, static to me. It went weird. So I don't know if my skin was hating it or what that day, but it Started off great. Started off kind of that same minty, fun sort of a thing.
How strong was the apricot accord? Can you remember? So I know you've not got it next to you, but was it noticeable or was it?
No, maybe it was a tiny bit fruitier than what the French Avenue was, but all in all, I really loved how it smelled opening. But the dry down was terrible to me, and I'd prefer the kind of slightly what I consider to be feminine dry down of Pinus than the one of the Louis Vuitton, which shocks me.
There we go. So we did, to be fair, I wouldn't say we fired shots, but we were obviously not overly impressed with that French Avenue. We loved Liquid Brun, and then we tried the Pinus, and we liked the opening, and we were like, oh, it's a bit disappointing because they smashed out of the park with the Liquid Brun. But it sounds like, relative to the original, they've done quite a good job then. So perhaps it's more that the DNA, the original, is just not really our vibe.
Maybe so. I think you might be right on that.
Okay, fair play. Let's do, I'm going to do this one because, so this is another Alexandra Fragrances. This is a clone, again, of Louis Vuitton Symphony. You didn't know this was coming, did you? You did not know this was coming. So this is called Orchestra. So perhaps we shouldn't say too much about this one then and save it, because I've not smelt the original Louis Vuitton Symphony. What we could do, I reckon, is we will save this for another episode. I'll get a sample of Symphony. Perhaps we'll do an episode on it. So you've smelled it, I'll get a sample, and then I can also compare it to this. But we can just talk about that DNA. I can reference the Alexandra Virgin if need be. So perhaps we'll just save that, shall we?
Yeah, let's do that. But good to know that you've got in your list a Symphony clone.
Yes. Yeah, so I've got a few things to say about this because, again, this was a blind buy. I'd never smelt the original. It got a lot of hype. Obviously, I mentioned it on the podcast I wanted to smell it. I paid for this. This wasn't free or anything. I just ordered it and paid for it. So I won't say too much, but I like it enough to be taking it on holiday. So we'll leave it at that for that one then. Before
you jump into the next one, I'll read a Patreon.
Please do.
Because, you had asked... My summer holiday's coming up, so what are your high heat summer bangers? Steve asked that. He was asking about summer bangers. And Dr. K said, and I think this works for both of us, Steve, Dr. K said Wulong Cha, which is top on my list. And he also said Dior Homme Cologne, which I know is top on yours.
Oh, yes. I do like Dior Homme Cologne. Yeah, no, good picks. Good picks, to be fair. Good picks.
Yeah. Way to go, Dr. K.
Yeah, I like that. Have you got any more, or do you want to filter those in throughout?
Yeah, we'll kind of sneak them in.
Okay. Well, I'm going to keep going with the clones. So, and I realised I'm going to do another Louis V. It sounds like I basically, recently, I've been following the creator hype. I've kind of been looking in. I'm not paying retail for Louis Vuitton, fuck that shit. So I've been trying to find some decent clones, and I've got them, and I've liked them enough to kind of take them. So this one is a clone house. This is only in the UK. They might ship in Europe, but I'm 99.9% sure that you can't get them in the US. But this is Pocket Sense. So it's pocketsense.co.uk. It's actually based in Scotland. So Matt runs this company. He's a really cool guy. So this is called Fluid Aura, and this is their version of Imagination, which I really, really like.
Okay.
So what I like about this, I've tried a few versions of Imagination. I've tried the Alexandra fragrance version, and this adds a little bit of balance because I've given them a little bit of hype, taking a few of their fragrances. I didn't like their version of Imagination so much. It was just quite sharp, quite tart. The ginger was really quite strong, and it just wasn't, I don't know, it just didn't feel very smooth on my skin. I just didn't really enjoy it, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Where the Pocket Sense version, this version I've got in my hand, it's a little bit softer. The ginger's not as like in your face and kind of tart, and it comes across a little bit more floral. I don't know if it's like the tea or the sort of floral aspects, but it's just a bit softer and just really enjoyable, very pleasurable to wear. So I really like this version.
I need to get my hands on a great clone of that because it is outrageously expensive, but I do love the smell of Imagination.
It was your number one.
Yes, it's true.
In a previous episode. If you've not heard that episode, we did a 5 for Life, and it was Mike's number one fragrance. So
yes,
I think this is one of what I've not said so far. The previous two, Orchestra, the Symphony version, I could probably wear during the day or evening. The performance isn't brilliant, so it's probably more of a daytime. The afternoon swim clone would probably be maybe a daytime. This Imagination, I'd probably wear this more in the evening. So,
Okay.
yeah, when we're going for a meal, that's where I plan to wear that one.
Well, I've got Stephen Doyle's selections here. He says Termes EDT,
Okay, nice.
Chanel Allure. I'm guessing Chanel Allure. Oh, fuck. Let me say it again. Chanel Allure Homme Sport Edition Blanche.
Oh, nice.
Tommy, ATH Supernova, and Mancera's Oud Lemon Mint.
Oud Lemon Mint, that is a beast performer. It's a really good performer, that. Have you tried Edition Blanche?
No, I haven't. I'm dying to smell it. I've smelled like they have like a hair mist of it that I was able to smell. And I liked the smell of that, but I mean, I don't have hair to mist it into.
You're spraying on your pubes. Where's that going?
Yeah.
A fragrant bush of around your pubis. It smells delightful of Edition Blanche.
Yeah. Well, I'd go chest air first, but so I did get to just smell that in the air. Yeah, not on my pubes. But I haven't smelled the actual fragrance of it, so I'd love to check that out.
It's one of those fragrances that I really, really like, but I don't think I quite love. So it's kind of got this lemon meringue type thing that people often say. So as per you would expect from Chanel, really good quality, really smooth, smells really nice, quite decent performance for a fresher fragrance, not beast mode or anything. But yeah, it's a really nice fragrance, definitely worth smelling.
I need to check it out.
My next one, again, it's a clone. We are going to get to some originals, but it's just how it's landed. It's like if people listening are not into clones and they think they're theft, they're not going to enjoy this episode, I don't think. But this is again from pocketsense.co.uk. So this is quite a nice little, and I've also got a little sort of a little sample bottle that I could always throw in. But this, Mike, you'll be pleased. So this is called Green Apple Luxuria. What do you think it's a clone of?
I think I know what that is.
Yeah, it's Parfum de Marly's Greenly. So I like this. I like their version. This is nice.
Yes, that would be on my list. Mike's summer holiday fragrances.
Yeah. This Greenly is a fragrance. I did a video about it on my YouTube channel, etc. And I spoke about how that DNA's grown on me, because obviously you love it. You recommended it. I've smelt it before and I did enjoy it. I never once thought it was bad, but I just didn't quite get the love and the hype. Where I got this, I ordered a few Pocket Sense fragrances and I was like, you know what, I'm going to try Greenly again, try their version. And I really like it. This is quite smooth. It performs really well. So this is probably more one for the evening again. So I'll probably wear this in the evening going out because this performs quite well. So yeah.
I've gone through 250 mil of Greenly.
Original Greenly, Parfum de Marly.
Yeah, PDMs.
Wow, damn. You love that shit.
It. Yeah, I do.
And it performs really well. So you don't go heavy on that. You probably only go a couple of 2 or 3 sprays.
Yeah, just a few. The first time we wore it, I had just the tiniest little sample in one of those, you know how they'll make you ones at like department stores. So it's like maybe 1 mil, 2 mil tops. And I just gave a couple of sprays on that. And Ryan said it filled up the room. And then he said, we were like walking through a home improvement store. And he was saying like it was like creating a trail. He was obsessed with it after that because of how loud it was. And I didn't realize it was so loud, but I do love how fresh it is with that like the sharp, almost bitter, but green apple vibe. It's really nice. Yeah, I do love that one.
My wife and son both really enjoyed this one. So initially, I think one of the things that put me off is sometimes that apple. I like the apple that's in things like Boss Bottle or whatever, but the apple in this is it's a bit more tart and a bit fresher. And sometimes that's a bit synthetic. And it often reminds me, there's a drink, I don't think it's in the US. In the UK, it's called apple sours with a Z on the end. And it was just like when you were 18, you go out and it's like a shot. Like you drink these little luminous green, sort of hideously tasting shot just to get drunk. And it reminds me of that. There's the what's that Gallagher fragrance that's a fine apple. I don't enjoy that because it reminds me of this apple sours. But this is again, it's quite smooth and the apple it's a bit fresh in the opening, and give it a minute and it dies down. It's a bit smooth. But my wife and son really like this. They smell it. They're like, yeah, no, that's really nice. And again, once it dries down, I think this is just a really nice smelling, obviously a bit ambroxany, but just very so. So yeah, that's more of an evening one, that one.
Okay. Well, just to chime in on the apple sours, if it's the same thing, and I haven't had this since high school, I think we have something in the States called apple pucker, which I think is a similar thing. Maybe wrong.
Should we just take a moment? I've not asked you my friend question of the week.
Oh, yes. I didn't know if maybe you forgot it, but I've been chomping at the bit to hear this.
So this is going to be an interesting one. So I'm sure everybody's listened to previous episodes. This started in a Patreon episode, so go and listen to that because that was quite an amusing episode. We found out about Mike's showering habits. But basically, I decided I want to be Mike's best friend, and to do that, I want to find out more about him. So every week I'm going to ask him a question to find out about him and find out what the answer to the question is. Now, the question's not going to be like a deep and meaningful, like, what do you want to be, or none of that bollocks. It's quite a sort of silly but nuanced question that kind of can be mildly divisive. It's one of those ones where it's sort of, you ask a group of friends and some people will say one thing, some people say the other, and it kind of splits the crowd. And so it's interesting. So it's just to get a take. We've not quite gone cat or dog, but it's that sort of thing. So far we've learned about Mike's showering habits. We've learned about his urinating habits. So this week, this is not, this is clean. This is not offensive. This is not anything near the toilet, the willy, the cleaning, none of that stuff. This is,
now, what a shame.
This is interesting to learn as well, because so basically, I know you guys have like a tomato ketchup in the US.
Yes.
Yeah? I don't think you guys are as obsessed with it as we are in the UK. I don't think. I think you have so many other sauces that you enjoy. But in the UK, that is very much like it's on every dinner table, practically with every meal. Like we're obsessed with it in the UK. It's very much, I know you guys love all sorts, like mustard, burger sauces, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We're very much like, and we have something called, what you just can call brown sauce, which is quite spicy. You've probably got something equivalent. But anyway, so we have tomato ketchup, tomato sauce. In the UK, it's very much a divide. This splits relationships. Okay. Where do you store it? Does it go in the fridge or does it go in the cupboard? I remember previously I did on my comedy YouTube channel, I did a skit about this, and the comment section blew up. People are arguing about it. It divided, it was like people were going to war over where they store their tomato ketchup. So tomato ketchup, fridge or cupboard, like pantry or whatever you call it in America?
It's fridge.
Yes. No, that is not right. You are incorrect. I jumped on it because I thought we were going to be in sync. I stored mine in the cupboard. Now, what
is that
people
right? Really?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
I keep it at room temperature. So people always say on the bottle it says store in the fridge. Like that's what they jump on that, and I'm like, yeah, but A, they just say that to cover themselves. B, it's used too quickly to go off, or to go past its use by date or anything. And also, I don't want to use a cold sauce on my hot food. Like if I've got chips, pizza, whatever, I don't want to be dipping that into a cold sauce. It's jarring. I don't like it. So for me, I'm passionate about the cupboard. So
I'd argue that I do like a cold sauce, because sometimes those, you call them chips, we call them fries.
Yes.
They come out a little hot, and sometimes it helps you to start eating them faster. So it kind of cools it down for you.
No, that's not my vibe. That is not my vibe. But I say that mayonnaise, I can get away with room temperature, but typically I would store that just because that could go off. I'd store that in the fridge because you have to, I think. But and I sometimes dip fries or chips or whatever in those. So yeah, but I can't wait. Wow. The Patreon are going to kick off on this, so let me know. We'll start something in the Patreon. The people are going to be like, no, it's got to be cupboard, it's got to be fridge. So there we go. We're divided on that. Our friendship has taken a hit. Yeah,
I'd be worried about it being spoiled, but I've also heard people say the same thing about mustard, yellow mustard.
Okay.
Where it's like either or, but I think just out of habit, I've just always put it in the fridge. That's all I've known. It's the way I was raised.
I think our mustard I couldn't even tell you. We rarely use it. It's normally only for like hot dogs and stuff we get the mustard out. Yeah. I think it might be in the cupboard. I'm not sure. Don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm not that passionate about that one. That one I can give or take. When we live together in our bromance and we get our own apartment together, I don't mind. You can choose where we store that.
Wow.
Anyway, should we get back to fragrances?
We should. Hit us with another one.
So this is left field, this one. So this is pocketscents.co.uk again, another clone, but this is left field. So this is called Summer Rain. This is a clone of Bulgari's Man Rain Essence, which is not had much hype. It's a lesser known fragrance. I owned the original. If you've not smelt it, give it a whiff. It's a gorgeous scent. It's got a citrusy opening, and the dry down is kind of like sort of still kind of keeps some of that sort of citrusy freshness, but it's kind of almost like a clean linen. So it's called like Matte Rain Essence, and this is called Summer Rain because it does have that sort of summer rain type effect. So it's like high heat, it's rained, and then it's sun comes out, and you've kind of got that clean sort of post rain smell with the summer heat, and this version of it, Pocket Scents version of Bulgari's Man Rain Essence, called Summer Rain, is gorgeous. Curiosity got me. I was ordering the Louis V clones. I saw this one. Another sort of content creator had hyped this one up, said how good it was. I loved the original. I owned the original for quite a while, but the performance was quite bad, so I just ended up, I sold it. So I got this one. It was very affordable. It's like £25 in the UK, and it's gorgeous. It really is. Really nice. So I'll probably wear this. This is flexible. I'd probably chuck this on around the pool or in the evening because this is a really nice, clean, manly scent. Love it.
Man, is this going to be Steve's 7 clones that he's taken to summer holiday?
No. So the next 3, strictly speaking, are all their brands. They're design. 1 niche, 2 designer.
And 4 clones.
Yes. So there's a lot of clones. I don't know what it is. Just because I've been investigating the Louis V fragrances, I found some ones that I like, so I'm taking them. That's basically what it is.
No, that's great. I can get behind it. Well, I've got shout out for MK in our Patreon who says Nichonet's Colonis, pretty amazing in the heat, soapy, citrusy, and has a good amount of depth.
Never smelt that. Have you smelt that one?
I don't know if I have or not. Man, if I haven't, I need to, because I typically love what I smell out of that house.
Yeah, you've smelt more Nichonnet or Nishani more than me. You've smelt more than me. I know you're a bit of a fanboy for them. You've enjoyed quite a lot of their fragrances. Yeah,
that was the first brand I think that I ended up buying a rather large discovery set of. And so I just was... It's kind of the early exploration of fragrances for me. I kind of just link it to learning about those fragrances too. So they probably have a special place in my heart.
And which is Oolong Cha your favorite Nichonnet fragrance?
Man, it's between Oolong Cha or Amber Calabria.
I've not smelled
both of those. I've gone through 100 ml of Amber Calabria, and I'm on my second 100 ml of Oolong Cha.
Wow. I tell you what, you commit to a fragrance. I like that. Quite often I get 100 ml bottles. Well, I don't always get 100 ml bottles, but quite often I do because I feel like it's better value. But then quite often I'll get 70, 80% through. I'd take a good hit, and then I start either I want to clear some space because I've ordered other fragrances, and I don't want to. I try and keep if I order too many, I then start thinking, "No, this is a ridiculous hobby. I need to sell some just to make me feel better." So quite often things take a hit, or sometimes I just get a little bit bored of them if I've worn them a lot. So yeah, you've done well. Next one, I'm going to stick with the Bulgari. So this is an original. You can see I've got a bottle there. Used a lot of this fragrance. This is Bulgari's Manwood Neroli.
Okay, you've talked about this one.
Really enjoy this fragrance. This is really underrated for a summer fragrance. If you are looking for a summer fragrance that's a bit different, go and check out Bulgari's Manwood Neroli. Gorgeous. You obviously, as the name suggests, you do have to like the note of neroli, which I believe is mildly divisive, but it's got a really gorgeous citrus opening, and as it dries down, the neroli kind of comes through, and it keeps some of the citrusy elements, but then it gets a bit woody, so you end up with this sort of woody neroli with a bit of citrus freshness to it. So this is really clean. It's really sort of quite invigorating. So it's quite a nice one out of the shower when you feel really clean and you want a burst of sort of energy. So again, I took this on my holiday last year when I went to Cyprus, and this got some wear then. So I wore this more in the evening, but this again, I could wear this around the pool, but this feels just a bit more special, a bit nicer to me. So I think I'd probably wear it in the evening. And again, it's quite nice because I'm getting scent memories of this as well. But as you can see, this is a big old 100 ml, is it? This is 100 ml. So this one I've not sold. I've kept, and I will finish this. Really enjoy this fragrance. Yeah,
I need to smell that one. You've recommended that one before.
Yeah, I think that I mentioned it in one of the Patreon chats when they were talking about fresh fragrances, and I just said it's just highly underrated. It goes under the radar. It doesn't get too much attention. But again, if you like Neroli, it's a banger. It's a really good fragrance. So next, I'll tell you what, I'm going to throw this one in actually next. I'll save that one till last. Obviously, if you've heard the podcast before, you've watched any of my content, I will be taking another 13. So this one shouldn't take long. We've spoken about this long enough. We don't have to go on about it again. But I got a new bottle, which cost me way too much money. But another 13 from Le Labo. This again, as you can imagine, is more of an evening fragrance when I just want to dress up, looking really nice, out with the wife and kids, going for a nice meal. I'll be wearing this. So quite often when we go away, we sometimes go for the meal in resort, but sometimes we go out of the resort and go to a nice restaurant. So this would be a bit more special, I think. So if we're going, really making an effort. And actually, when we're away on holiday, one of the days is we're going to be there for our anniversary. So my wife and I, we've been married. I've got to get this right now. We've been married 12 years. So
wow.
We'll be there for the anniversary, so I'll be wearing this on our anniversary, I think, because this is like my fragrance now. This is my third 100ml bottle, and what's kind of nice is this is my scent, so this is my signature scent, and my wife sort of says, yeah, that smells like you, so she associates that with me, so that's that. I love it. So
man, I love that. I need to figure out a signature scent that isn't, it can't be like Imagination. There's just, Imagination's going to be the next Sauvage. So it can't be that.
Yeah, it is a little bit. It's obviously it's priced out some of the fuck boys, but somehow they still get it, don't they? So, and obviously, some fuck boys just get clones of them. So, not that I'd condone that sort of behaviour.
Yeah,
so,
tell us about that.
It's such a popular fragrance. There's a lot of clones of it, so people. Again, it's quite a ubiquitous scent. So that's another good thing, which is nice with another 13. It's mine. Not many people wear it. So it's quite unique. So it's kind of nice. Again, I've picked up compliments. If people do ask you what it is, it's a bit different. It's not Sauvage. It's not Bleu de Chanel or whatever. So right, we're down to the last one. We got there. Well done, people. You stuck with it. So this isn't a clone, but it kind of is. So again, this is a 120ml bottle, random size, Mercedes-Benz cologne. So as you can see, I've nearly finished this. I took this on a holiday last year, not this whole bottle. I took, again, a decant for travel purposes. So I've got some scent memories associated with this, with the holiday. This is gorgeous, gorgeous scent. It smells a lot like Dior Homme cologne.
Okay.
So, yeah, this is gorgeous, lovely mandarin. Really clean. For me, it's definitely unisex, but I just feel very confident and masculine, I feel like a sexy guy, a sexy ass man. I feel like wearing this. I sort of feel like I want to wear a white shirt, like if I was going out again, sort of dressing quite nicely, maybe I could wear this during the day, but this is a bit flexible. I could wear this during the day around the pool or in the evening. If we were going out to a nice restaurant, or if I had a nice white shirt or something, this would work really well. Really well. So there we go. We got to the end. And so we're doing okay on time. But before we finish, Mike, I know you've not prepared anything, but off your head, is there any fragrances that you think, I would grab those if I was going away? Obviously, you spoke about the ones you'd grab when you were being kicked out of your house. But what if you were someone said, Mike, I'm taking you away. I'm whisking you away to Hawaii. We're going to be there for a week. Grab a bag, grab whatever quickly. You've got 10 minutes. What fragrances are you grabbing off your head?
Yeah, the obviouses are going to be Carbon. I'm going to get Carbon. Imagination. I would take Wulong Cha. That one can get floral. So if you're in more of a relaxed vacation type environment, that one's great. That's why I started leaning into Amber Calabria. That'd be another one I'd probably get. What do we have, 4 now? Because it's a little bit more masculine. There is also like this greener note to it that I really like. So I ended up wearing a lot of that. Loved that. See if I can come up with 3 more.
Do you think we should do an episode? Have you done an episode previously on Wulong Cha? Because I've never smelt it. I've never smelt a clone. I've never smelt the original. So I'm wondering if we should just do a quicker, shorter episode on my first impressions. I you can get your bottle. I won't smell it. I'll get a sample of it. And just live on the podcast, I'll smell it and probably be bitterly disappointed, or it might be anticlimactic. But then we can chat about it. You can, so we can smell it together live. And perhaps if anybody else wants to join in, if we give you some notice, if people want to kind of get a sample yourselves, and we could, you know, all smell it together while you listen, or sort of thing. And so as I'm smelling it for the first time, you guys could smell it if you've not smelt it before, and we could kind of go through that journey together, because I really need to smell it. I need to just get a sample of that, because I know it's one of your favorites, and I think I will like it.
Yeah, it's top up there. Speaking of another one of my favorites, 3 more to go. I'd go Greenlee for sure. I would probably bring Straight to Heaven to layer with some of those citrusy, brighter fragrances. And then probably Insidious. I'm a man of habit and routine.
You know what? That is a shout. That's a good one to wear in the evenings. I might have to add that to my... I might have to do a little decant. So I'm up to like 8 now. I've got more fragrances than days.
I
do feel like in shit, but then there might be some other people wearing it. I mean, I think that is a good shout for the evenings, because it's just, obviously, what it is, everybody knows what it smells like. It's fresh, it's clean, it's sexy, it's manly, and it's just one of those fragrances that always smells better on other people, I think. But I've picked up compliments with it, so yeah, that's a good shout.
I think it's because we enjoy the smell of it, so when we smell it on someone else, it's like a nice little surprise. Like, oh,
yeah, definitely.
I know what that is, and I like it.
Previously, we've done, when we did the Pinus episode, we basically did a one fragrance for the whole episode. In this episode, you've had, including the Patreon fragrances, including yours, we must have covered like 20 fragrances.
So
you're getting good bang for your buck there. So you've had, there you go, we're mixing up. You've had an episode with 1 fragrance, and now you've got an episode with 20. So you've had plenty of options. Granted, a lot of them are clones, and apologies for that if you're offended by that, but you know, fuck it, I don't care.
It's your holiday, Steve.
Louis Vuitton are too expensive, but I think, I still, even though I enjoy these versions of Louis Vuitton, I could not justify the price for those. Maybe, like say, decants are maybe a way to go, but I just can't justify.
It's a bitter pill, because that shit is outrageous. I think in the store when I was talking to him, it was like $380 or something like that, maybe $340 or upwards for 100 mil, and then for 200 it was like $500. Insane. Crazy price.
Like, does that include you filleting me or wanking me off or something? Is that part of the service? It's like, what was that Adam Sandler film where he was the hairdresser, where he was just...
Oh, Zohan or whatever.
Yeah. What? I can't remember what it is, but basically just every time he cut a woman's hair, he included an orgasm, didn't it? It was just, he pleasured them as part of the process. So that's what you should get with imagination. You should be like, right, I will have a bottle of imagination. Do you have a bag? And yes, I'm ready to be masturbated now, thank you.
Well, you know, if you buy a bottle, they take it back to like a closet and they put your like initials on it and stuff.
I should fucking think so.
So I think, you know, maybe if you play your cards right, you might get taken back into the old closet as well.
I mean, I'm moaning. I mean, to be fair, they are more expensive than Le Labo, but what's quite nice now, I've got this because my previous bottle of another 13 was a tester, so I don't think I could get that refilled, but Le Labo do refills just like Louis V do. So now I've got this sort of original bottle. If this gets empty, if I can't get a decant, rather than going full retail again, I can get this refilled if I take it to store. So that's my sort of plan now. It's a bit of an investment, so
I love it. You know, some people have said, hey, are you guys going to do single reviews like back in the day, to which we've done. And we're also doing they're asking for the top 10s in the list. We're doing that too. I'd say we're keeping the variety alive there, Steve. We're doing all right.
I'm pleased. And thank you, everybody, for your support and the feedback we've had on the podcast as well. We're really enjoying this. We sort of said the other day that we're sort of, so far, we're really proud of it. And again, thank you for everybody that's supporting us so far. It's really good. We did have some people want to see some videos. We did have somebody taking the piss out of my appearance for an audio format, which is an interesting one, but I'll take it. But other than that, thank you for your ongoing support for this. We love you guys.
And until next time, stay healthy and spray healthy.